The Object Destroyer can be used to destroy game objects in your scene during runtime. Let's go over the options. Special effects are optional. If you want a special effect to be played, you'll need to drag Special Effects Prefab to the Special Effects Prefab field. The special effect will be played wherever the object is destroyed. If you want a sound effect to be played, you'll need to drag the audio file to the Sound Effect Audio File field. If you need to edit the audio effect, you can expand the audio source, which should be located near the Object Destroyer script. For example, if you want to hear the sound only when you're near the Object Destroyer's location, then you'll need to expand the audio source and change the spatial blend from 2D to 3D. I'll go ahead and collapse the audio source, and let's go over the event. There's only one event. Object destroyed happens anytime the object is destroyed. How about a demonstration? I already have an Object Destroyer in my scene, but let's suppose there's an invisible force field that will disintegrate any inanimate object that comes in contact with it. When it destroys an object, let's have it play some special effects. I'll navigate to the audio folder to access the audio files. Next, I'll select the Object Destroyer in my hierarchy and then drag the Zap sound effects to the Sound Effects Audio File field. Now I'll navigate to the Not for Scene Use folder, which I know has a couple of special effects prefabs. With the Object Destroyer still selected, I'll drag the Sparks Effects prefab to the Special Effects prefab field. I'll use the detection area as our invisible force field. You can find the detection area in the Utilities folder. Once I've located it, I'll drag one into my scene and make sure the box collider component is expanded. That way I can see what it is that I'm adjusting. I'll also make sure the manipulator handle is set to pivot and not to center. Then I'll scale up the detection area so that it represents our invisible force field. I'll also rename it to force field. Now let's create something that we can pick up and throw at it. How about a boulder? I'll create a 3D sphere and position it at world center. I'll also scale it down just a little bit, and I also want to raise it up to make it look like it's sitting on the ground. I'll also add a material to it just to make it look a little more like a boulder. Next, I'll add a pickup mod. You can find the pickup mod in the child mods folder. I'll drag one into my scene and I'll make sure that it's positioned at world center. I want it to be in the same place as our sphere. Since it's a child mod, it will modify any object that is a child of it. In this case, turn it into something that we can pick up. So let's drag the sphere onto the pickup mod, which will make it a child. Now we'll be able to pick up the sphere. I'll go ahead and rename the pickup mod to boulder. Next, I'm going to change the sphere's tag to ball, which will allow our force field to detect it. So with the sphere selected, I'll click on the Tag Manager's drop-down list at the top of the inspector and select ball. If you don't see ball in the list, then you'll need to add the tag by clicking on the Add Tag option at the bottom of the list. Now, let's select the detection area and check the Detect Ball option. Since we gave the sphere the ball tag, the detection area will now be able to detect it. Let's expand the ball entered event and drag in the Object Destroyer. Let's select Destroy Triggering Object from the drop-down list. We also have to select whether or not we want it to delete the parent object, which we do. Now, even if we did not want to delete the parent object, we still have to tell the Smob event whether we want it on or off. So we would at least have to click it twice. Once to select it, so it registers that we made a decision, and then to click it again to actually turn it off. But we do want the parent object to be destroyed, so I'm going to go ahead and click it. That way it will destroy the sphere and the pickup mod that it's inside. Alright, before we test it out, I'll go ahead and duplicate the boulder a few times. That way we have more than one thing to throw at it. We're all ready to test it out now. I'll go ahead and click the play button and let's see if it all works.